Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to talk about dysmenorrhea and period cramps and what you can do to mitigate that problem. So once again, all the references will be in the description. If you want to skip the video, you can just go into the description. Don't hesitate to do that if you want to read the information or if you picked up enough of the information from the slides. But I will add a little bit extra information in this presentation. So if you want to stick around for the longer explanation, you are free to do so. So in order from what I thought was most to least effective, I recommend magnesium first at 300 milligrams a day, taken from day 15 until the next cycle. So magnesium, 300 milligrams a day from day 15 of the cycle until the next cycle. Magnesium stearate was used. Significantly reduced menstrual pain. 76% reduction in those with moderate to severe pain. So if you don't have much pain, it might not help as much, but if you have a lot of pain, it is a 76% reduction. Another study used magnesium sulfate at 300 milligrams again. It also worked with a 55% reduction in pain. Amount of bleeding was reduced by 41%. So there was a 41% reduction in bleeding. And the period of bleeding was reduced by 19%. So once I would highly recommend trying magnesium from day 15 until the next cycle. It's good. About half the population is deficient in magnesium, so it's a good idea to take magnesium anyways. But I would try magnesium sulfate or magnesium stearate. And it also reduces, along with reducing pain, it also reduces bleeding and period of bleeding. So it's a tremendous way of helping dysmenorrhea. Zinc sulfate is another thing you can try. So 400 milligrams for 3 days from the start of menstruation. Leads to a 47% reduction in pain and a 73% reduction by month 3. So zinc sulfate, take it for 3 days. And it reduces pain by 73%, which is a remarkable reduction in pain. 18% decrease in bleeding. And this study had 50 milligrams zinc twice a day. That's likely too much zinc. So I'd stick with the 40 milligrams for 3 days. I think that's a reasonable amount of zinc. Another study had a 61% reduction in pain by month 2. So similar to the first study, and 55 milligrams of zinc sulfate was used for 4 days, starting the day before menstruation. So if you don't want to take magnesium for 15 or 16 days a month, you can try taking zinc sulfate for 3 days a month. And it does help. Another thing you can do is 500 milligrams of ginger once per day, 5 days of supplementation during period. So you take it 2 days before your period and 3 days during your period. On month 2, it led to a 55% reduction in pain by month 2. And another thing you can try is vitamin B1. A 50% reduction in pain by month 2. And it was 100 milligrams a day of B1 and 500 milligrams of fish oil. And you take B1 from day 15 of your cycle to the next cycle for the full benefit. In another study, there was one study that showed having multiple orgasms during your period led to a 100% reduction in menstrual pain. So you can try masturbating or during your period, and that might help. Exercise or stretching, 30 to 60 minutes, 3 times a week. Some studies had no exercise during your period. And exercise 3 times a week reduces period pain or menstrual pain by 35%. And now another thing you can try is in university students who consumed low amounts of water, less than 1,600 milliliters a day, increasing water intake to 2,000 milliliters a day, 2 liters a day, led to a decrease in menstrual pain by month 2 of 28%. Periods were also more regular and 31% more regular by month 2. So if you consume low amounts of water, consuming enough water or an adequate amount of water should decrease menstrual pain by about 28% and increase the regularity of the menstrual cycle by about 31%. Heat therapy often helps. It works almost twice as good as a pain pill. So a lot of people use a heat pack on their abdomen or lower back during their period. Another thing you can do is vitamin D. So 300,000 IUs of vitamin D's 5 days before your period. You take it once. 300,000 IUs of vitamin D, D3. You take it once, and then it should decrease. Take it once every month, and it should decrease your pain by 47% by month 3. And vitamin D is a healthy thing to take anyway, or regardless. So it's definitely worth trying. Another study did 50,000 IUs vitamin D once weekly. And then again, there was a 54% reduction in pain by month 2. Another study did 300,000 again of vitamin D3. D3 is the recommended type of vitamin D to take. And once again, 5 days before the cycle. And this study was a 39% reduction in pain, with no woman in the vitamin D group needed to take a pain pill. So that's worth highlighting. Another thing you can try is, and now these are getting into perhaps less effective things you can try now, but is calcium. 1,000 milligrams of calcium carbonate alone or with vitamin D. But as you can see, and it started on day 15 until menstrual pain disappearance in the following cycle. So starting on day 15 of the cycle, and calcium led to a 43% reduction in pain by month 3. Another study with 600 milligrams of calcium carbonate. And they also did it with magnesium stearate or just calcium carbonate alone. from day 15 of the cycle till the following cycle. Calcium, magnesium, 35% reduction in the first 2 months. Calcium, 19% reduction in the first 2 months. Another thing you can try is boron. 5 days of boron at 10 milligrams. 26% reduction by month 2. Dill, pignogenol, French maritime pine bark, acupuncture, aromatherapy, deep breathing, seed cycling. These are some other things that are postulated to help, though are less effective than the things I've mentioned before. Quite a few women use oral birth control to reduce PMS pain. So oral birth control reduces pain by 50 to 45% in those diagnosed with dysmenorrhea. It reduces blood loss by 37%. So not as good as magnesium for reducing blood loss, but it still helps. And 55% of women on the pill experience less bleeding, 50% experience less pain, 44% experience a shorter period, and the cycle is more regulated. Unfortunately, the pill does have side effects. So it's not as safe as magnesium or zinc or ginger or vitamin D. Some of the other things that I would recommend ahead of taking birth control. Birth control does have negative and positive side effects. So it does prevent pregnancy, which is why quite a few women take the pill to prevent pregnancy. Unfortunately, it also has some perhaps unwanted side effects. It can increase depression and anxiety in teenagers who take the pill. And it also increases the fear response while you're on the pill when you're in safe environments. So it can increase your fear response. And it also makes you like less masculine guys. So it affects who you're attracted to being on the pill. And actually, you feel less attraction. Men are less attracted to you, and you as a woman are less attracted to men when you're on the pill also. So that's kind of an interesting side effect. You get stuck in the latter cycle phase, which means you're more work-oriented than beautiful feeling. So it has an effect on your kind of demeanor. And it also affects your microbiome. And I haven't looked into that as much, but I would recommend magnesium, zinc, or ginger, or vitamin D to be used ahead of oral birth control to manage PMS symptoms. So these are hopefully a useful list of things you can do to reduce period cramping. And hopefully you find the presentation interesting, and hopefully it was gave you some ideas, and hopefully you can apply some of those ideas. If you're watching this video, you were probably hoping for some takeaways, so hopefully there were some takeaways. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And once again, references are in the description. So if you want to read the studies behind the information in this video, you can check out the references in the description. And thank you very much for watching, and have a good day. Bye for now.